I didn't shoot him. It was him. That dude tried to run and brother shot him, man.
He's trying to put the finger on me for something I didn't do.
You've got your homeboy Brandon, who's throwing you completely under the bus.
I didn't, dude. I didn't.
If you weren't the shooter, you're gonna have to give us a shoot.
This is Tweedledum and Tweedledee, Brandon Cruz and Pablo Reyes. Together, these two were blaming each other for the attempted murder of two innocent people. And as detectives continue to press them,
we know that there were two people there. We know he's one player. The second player has to be you.
This killer duo will share their singular brain cell in order to get away with what they have done. But with a possible third victim, it's a race against time for detectives to uncover every secret and every answer they can before it's too late.
I saw your face. You're gonna be on that video when I see it tomorrow. I really think that you were there for both of them, and I know you were. And if you're the person that we think you are, you're gonna give justice to that man. And we need you to tell us what happened.
On June 20th, 2019, police in Lubbock, Texas responded to the scene of a robbery at a Lucky Mart gas station, only to find they had a far more serious crime on their hands. Victim David Rodriguez claimed that he was trying to help 35-year-old Sandy Cervantes get gas when two men approached, armed with a pistol. They tied Rodriguez up, robbed him, and forced him into the trunk of his own car. They then forced Sandy into her Saturn Vue and fled the scene. It took Rodriguez an hour to escape, and by then Sandy's vehicle and the men who attacked them were long gone. Her purse was discovered in a dumpster in the nearby town of Abernathy 2 days later, and 2 days after that, her Saturn Vue was found engulfed in flames. But even though Sandy's family reported her missing to her probation officer in August, police didn't open an investigation into her disappearance until February of 2020, nearly 8 months later. Sadly, on April 14th, 2020, Sandy's remains were found in an abandoned house and later identified through dental records by a forensic odontologist. A bullet containing human tissue fragments was also found in the kitchen of the home, and it was later determined that she'd been shot. Luckily for police, two similar crimes that took place just 2 weeks after Sandy's initial disappearance would eventually give them their first major lead. On July 2nd, 2019, two more brutal armed robberies were reported in the area, and they had strikingly similar MOs. Michael McCoy was robbed at gunpoint and forced into the trunk of his own car after money was taken out of his ATM. He escaped, but the robbers stole his vehicle and property. And later that same day, a man suffered a gunshot wound after two men carjacked his truck at a red light. But in this case, the suspects were quickly identified as 29-year-old Brandon Cruz and 26-year-old Pablo Reyes. They were both brought in for questioning, and while Brandon's tough guy gangsta act may scare his victims on the streets, it does little to sway these seasoned detectives, especially when his soft-hearted accomplice is already spilling his guts about their crime spree in the next room. As of now, he's only being questioned about an illegal firearms purchase, but what these detectives don't know is what else he's guilty of: the brutal murder of Sandy Cervantes just 2 weeks earlier. The following footage was provided by the Lubbock Police Department.
Okay, so where were you at? What were you doing yesterday?
I was just walking around right there between the Sunset Square and the Executive.
And where?
Executive?
Yeah,
right there around the area.
Mm-hmm. Let me see what this place looks like. You're walking around, who you with?
I was just by myself. Yeah, I started walking by myself, and then I came across when I was at Sunset, chilling at Sunset. You know, the little bench area. So when I was chilling there, I don't talk to many, just randomly just talk to anybody, but somebody started talking to me. He said he had a pistol, so I'm like, yeah. Oh, I've been trying to live for him, because I'll be walking around, and then I got to live with the dope, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, what you want for it? He said, man, give me 150, you know what I'm saying? And it's yours. So I'm like, you ice or what? He's like, yeah. I'm like, shit, you want to do half and half? He said, no. You know what I'm saying? So I paid him cash and got the pistol, put it in my backpack, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And went about my way.
What time did you get that pistol?
Around, okay, I told the law something different though, you know what I'm saying? I got the pistol around 1. I told him 12.
So yesterday.
I told him 12 at midnight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it was probably like around 1, maybe. I think. Yeah. I can't tell you the exact time, but I want to say it's.
But you got it yesterday, though.
Yes, sir.
So it was before midnight yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like 1 in the afternoon. Is that what you're saying?
No. 1 in the midnight. After midnight.
Okay, so
Like
technically
12.
this morning, right?
Oh
Is
yeah,
that what you're
morning.
saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got it early, like somewhere around midnight.
Yeah, around
Early.
12.
Okay.
I believe.
So you got gun. Is that your homeboy? You know what his name is?
No, I don't even know his name.
Okay.
I've been out 6 months, so.
Yeah. Is that you said you got a pistol like a revolver, or is it?
No, it
semi?
was a 40.
A 40.
Yeah.
Okay.
40.
Is it black?
Yeah, black.
So.
And then I ain't never had no pistol. So I was like,
did you have a pistol right now when you got? When you got picked up?
Yeah. Well, my cousin had the backpack, but I was telling him like, though that's not his, that's mine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let him take the downfall for my actions. So I'm like that whole backpack's mine.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So he ain't had nothing to do with it.
So what happened after you picked that up at midnight? What did you do then? Who were you with?
I was by myself.
Okay.
Until I ran into him. You know what I'm saying? And then I went about my business. Took off. Ended up finding some. I don't know what kind of keys they are. Push start, or some kind of keys.
Mm-hmm. Where'd you find them at?
On 44th. You know them. I don't know what they're called. Storages, I guess. You know the ones that's on 44th.
44th and what?
44th and Q. You know that mechanic shop, and then you got those little buildings like that.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, by that church. It's right across the street from.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so I told, because they asked me if they were mine. I'm like, nah, I found those. That's where I found them at, but I didn't find them just like in one pile. You know what I'm saying? Found them here, and then up the street, a little more up the street with that little parking.
You found a whole bunch of them?
Nah, just 3.
Oh,
They're the same kind too. I wondered like they're the same kind. One of them didn't have no keys, or 2 of them didn't have no keys. One had keys. So I'm like, they must go to something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I did 6 years, so a lot of things done changed. So I'm not too familiar with keys being like that. So I just got them put in my backpack. You know what I'm saying?
The detective asks basic questions about how Brandon obtained the gun, and the calm and casual tone seems to have put him at ease. He claims to have then found piles of car keys in the street, which combined with his encounter with the random gun salesman adds up to a fairly exciting day. But when another detective enters the room to confront him with some bad news about his friend, the vibe quickly shifts, and homeboy here suddenly finds himself on the defense.
It's like you see all kinds of tweakers, they be having all kinds of stuff.
Come in.
Sorry.
This is Detective Pena.
No,
This is Brandon.
I'm talking to Adrian, and
Sorry. Here you go. Oh, thank you.
I don't know where y'all are.
No, go ahead.
Can I ask him if you could? Is I'm talking to Adrian, and he's blaming a lot of stuff on you. Okay.
Yeah, he didn't have nothing to do with it, like I was telling him.
Okay.
The backpack, everything, the backpack, that was mine. He was just walking me to the store.
Okay. How about that blue car that was in his
The
backyard?
blue car, I don't know about the
He's
blue
saying
car.
that blue car was yours.
Nah.
That
I
you
didn't.
asked him, and you told him that that's why he was going to your house this morning.
No, really, he was
And
going.
he's blaming that. He's saying that blue car is yours 100%. And I'll tell you why that blue car is important. It was involved in a robbery, and he's putting that on you too.
Yeah, nah,
Okay.
I didn't have nothing to do with that. I didn't even know what color the car was. You know what I'm saying?
And he's also saying that something about a black truck. That you were on the phone talking to someone about a black truck, and you jumped it off on University.
Nah.
Did y'all
I
discuss
didn't.
these
No.
things? Okay,
Nah.
I'm sorry, I didn't know where y'all were at.
Yeah,
No.
nah,
I just
we didn't.
I just want to be fair and let you
Yeah.
know what he's saying, because it's not fair to let him sit here and blame everything on you.
Yeah. No.
Will you give us consent for your? Has he already given consent for his cell phone? He's telling us certain things and we can process your phone and verify that some of the things that he's telling us aren't true. Will you give us consent for your cell phone?
Yeah, you can look at my cell phone.
We'll do it right now while you're here. If you'll read that, and we'll get that processed. What's your passcode?
111141. Cause he was coming to my house really to smoke some ice.
We're investigating some very serious crimes. Okay, are you going to be, even if one guy got shot this morning? I'm just going to flat out say that, and it involved that black truck. Are your fingerprints or anything going to be in that truck?
No.
Were you ever in it?
No,
Did you ever drive it?
No,
Because we'll find out. And we just need, what we're looking for is the guy that shot the guy. And if you were just present and you saw what happened, you saw someone else and you were in that truck, we're going to find out. But then when we get to that person that was driving that truck or that did shoot him and they blame you and your fingerprints are in there, you see how that's going to look.
Yes, ma'am.
So you're going to have to be upfront with this. I know some of it might not be something you want to talk about, but you're going to have to be upfront. Are your fingerprints going to be in that car? Did you write down his code?
Yeah, I got it.
Would you say you have a very unique look? Can we agree with that with your tattoos on your face? Is anyone going to describe you in any of our robberies? We had 2 of them.
No.
No? And you shouldn't be on any video at an ATM. Read that real quick and then we'll get, we may be able to clear it up through your phone because he's blaming everything on you. Do you know who would have done something like that and parked the car in his backyard? Is there anyone at his house that he
I'll
hangs
sign that
out?
one. I'll do this.
No,
Is there anyone that hangs out at his house that does robberies that you know of?
No, not that I know of. Like I said, I've been out 6
Can I
months.
see his phone? I'm going to take it.
They
That
have
way
it
while
next
he's
door.
here, they still have it? Okay. Can you go ahead and start? Your DNA's not going to be in either one of those trucks. You were never in it. Never. Can we go ahead and get a sample of your DNA? I'm sorry about that. That way we can clear you out
Yes,
of this. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Cool.
If you'll go along those lines and just verify that because this young man over here is saying that he was involved.
Yeah, we'll
So
keep on that.
We'll keep on that. Okay, thank you.
With news that his friend is enthusiastically throwing him under the bus, the laid-back, yawning Brandon suddenly looks a bit nervous. But what could Pablo have said to investigators that would lead him to worry? It turns out quite a lot, and investigators have no problem telling a little white lie to get the ball rolling.
You're probably wondering why you're here. You said it yourself. Why you're here? We are investigating a case, and do you know Brandon?
Yeah.
Brandon's saying a lot of things about you. And we need to talk to you to kind of verify what's going on the case that we're working.
What is he saying about me, though?
Well, that's what we need to talk about. And it's a couple cases that we're investigating. We talked to him this morning, but it's not fair for us to take his word, not take your word, right?
But what is he saying, though?
Well, that's what we're going to talk about. You are in custody. For me to be able to go into what we're doing, I need to read you this warning right here. It's the Miranda warning. We'll discuss that. Let me read this, and then we'll talk about it. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
We're investigating a robbery, and it involves one of his vehicles and one of my vehicles. And it's a black truck, and his is the car is a blue Malibu. This morning we found the blue Malibu and we found the truck. And we also found Brandon. And we talked to him about it. And he's blaming it all on you. He said that he wasn't there, that you came to his house in that black truck. He sat in it for a few minutes, and you said you had jacked the truck.
Yeah, I have no part in doing none of that. I've been at the executive all night.
And you know that they have video, and so does the place that he lives at.
What place?
He lives over there with his mama.
Yeah, you can look at the cameras. I never went over there in no black truck.
Why would he be naming you?
I don't know. Because I kick it with him every day. I mean, I didn't show up in no black truck every day.
Because his mom said you also showed up there. No, this is the deal. This is, I'm working the case with.
Check the cameras, ma'am. I didn't show up in no black truck. I promise you that. I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't show up in no damn black truck over there.
Are your fingerprints, right now we're processing that vehicle. Are your fingerprints going to be in that truck at all?
No, No, ma'am.
Did you ever touch it, go in it, talk to Brandon in it? Because you're gonna have to be real clear on that because
Yes, I did talk to Brandon in it.
okay. Now tell me what happened. How you came to talk to Brandon in it.
He showed up at the executive.
What did the truck look like?
It was a black Dodge.
And tell me how he said he got it, or about what time did he come in?
I can't. I don't want to say how he got it. Okay, I know how he got it. I don't want to say how he got it. That's on him.
He's blaming you.
That's on him,
He's
though.
blaming you.
But I didn't do nothing. I promise you I didn't do nothing. I don't want to go to prison. I didn't do nothing. I have no part of that black truck. He showed up at the executive in it. That's all I know.
Tell me, you said you did know what. This is the deal. I think Brandon shot a man. It's serious, okay?
I didn't have no part to do with that truck. I promise you. He showed up at the executive in it. That's all I know.
Who was he with when he showed up?
Just himself. I didn't have no part of that truck, man. I'm not trying to go to prison, dude.
You know what? Pablo, here, listen, there's a lot of things that we know. Obviously, here's one of the main reasons why we're here, right? We've been doing this for quite some time.
I didn't do nothing in that black truck, dude.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Wait a second, bro. Okay? When we start investigating, we start talking to A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. And before you know it, we're to you now. What you need to understand is that we've already talked to approximately 12 people so far. And I knew from the moment that when you stepped in the door and we asked you for your full name, you said Pablo Reyes. She asked you, you go by any other names? No, ma'am. I knew right at that moment that we were getting off on the wrong foot. And what you need to be very clear on today is, just like you said, I don't want to go to prison. I don't want to go to prison. You've got your homeboy Brandon who's throwing you completely under the bus. Is it right? Hell no, it ain't right. And what we always tell people, what I tell people constantly, hey, before you start lying for your homeboy, you really need to think about what your homeboy's saying about you, because I can promise you, your homeboy is not taking the fall. Your homeboy is throwing you clean under the bus. So think about that really hard.
It seemed all detectives needed for Pablo to start to crack was to tell him that Brandon had already sold him out. He's already admitted to being in the stolen black truck, but denies any involvement in the other robberies or shooting. But detectives know that something appears to be eating him up inside, and now that he's a soft target, they're free to hit a little harder.
Call it snitching, call it whatever you want to call it, but you know what? Oh, well, you're not just throwing me under the bus when I ain't got shit to do with this. It's you, not me. Call it what you want to call it, man, but I'm not going down for some shit that he did. Be honest, bro. You gotta be honest, man.
He showed up at the executive, said he shot somebody for his truck, man. He wanted me to ride with him. He drove off for like, I don't know, 5-10 feet, dude, and I told him, no, stop the truck, let me up. So my fingerprints are gonna be on that door on the passenger side and everything, dude. Okay. That's it, dude. I told him I didn't want no part of that truck. He told me he shot somebody for that truck. Okay. That's all I know, dude, and I got off.
Okay,
I didn't show up at no.
Let me ask you this.
I didn't show up nowhere.
Let me ask you
38 DP, none of that.
If we need to shoot him, okay?
Him. I don't care if he threw me on the bus. It's him.
No.
I don't like guns. I don't play with guns.
Let me ask you this. If you were just with him and you saw him shoot that guy, that's the best witness we have. And we need that. We need that information. Now, if you were there and you didn't know what he was going to do, because he's putting the gun in your hand, okay? We need an eyewitness on who saw him shoot. And we're going to have video. Wells Fargo, that's where it happened at. I'm going to be up front with you. There's going to be, in fact, I have Detective Shanks right now working on that video, and they have like a corporate security deal with Wells Fargo. They happen on their property. So they're going to have state of the art. It's a bank. And I don't want to come back tomorrow, because I probably won't get it till tomorrow. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know what I'm going to have. But I can tell you I'm probably going to have some real good video. And I think that when I look at that video, I'm going to be able to tell who was there, who was in that parking lot. Now, am I going to see you in that parking lot? And you're going to have to be honest.
tell you, Pablo, man, once you give us the truth, I guarantee you're gonna feel 10 times better. And you know what sucks, man, is that Brandon obviously has a lot of shit that he has to deal with, but he's constantly throwing everybody else under the bus, and that shit just isn't fair. It isn't fair, bro. So you know what? We know that there were 2 people there. We know he's one player. The second player has to be you. So for you to tell us, man, exactly what went down there at that Wells Fargo, you realize what kind of piece of the puzzle that you're putting here? Especially, you're telling us you didn't even have the gun. You didn't want to have anything to do with it. So walk us through the steps to where y'all get to the black Dodge pickup and the man's there. Walk us through those steps. How did y'all confront this guy? How did it all unfold? Whose idea is it? Is it your idea? You don't look like a horrible person.
I'm not, dude.
You don't look like a
He
horrible
wasn't
person.
sitting in front of me with
Crying.
the emotion that you had. He was sitting there, full-faced, lying. And we found the victim's phone, and we know what his part is, but it's evidentiary, a lot of it is. But we want to know if we can trust you to tell us the
You
truth.
can. I didn't have nothing to do with that truck, man.
Okay, so you know what,
I didn't
Pablo?
have nothing to do with it, dude.
Okay, Pablo.
What did you see happen?
I didn't see nothing. I don't know, man.
I can tell when I talk to you about the video, I saw your face. You're going to be on that video when I see it tomorrow. And you're not going to be in my office when I see that tomorrow and me going, this is what I saw. And if you didn't shoot that man,
I did it, dude. I did it.
did you see what happened to him? You're not responsible for if me and him are in this room together and he decides to go shoot through that wall, do you think I could stop him? Do you think I could stop him? If he did that? That might have been the situation you found yourself in, and only you can explain that. Is that the situation you found yourself in? Because I know if he got his gun right now and shot through that wall, I wouldn't be able to stop him. You're going to have to tell us your truth and not let Brandon talk for you. Unless you were the shooter and that's why you're so upset.
No, I don't like guns. I don't like guns. I don't like touching guns. I don't like being around guns.
You're
I
scary.
don't.
You're scary.
Yes, I don't.
Let me tell you something. I just got through coming from the hospital. Okay? And there's a man laying in the hospital right now. He didn't do anything wrong. And if you're the person that we think you are, you're going to give justice to that man. And we need you to tell us what happened and how it went bad. Because that man is laying in bed right now. And I'll tell you, I hope he makes it, okay?
Detectives lean hard on their suspect, giving him every chance to come clean. He's resisted telling the whole truth so far, but as they continue to amp up the pressure, it becomes clear to everyone Pablo is about to blow.
Right now is your time to tell us. And not let Brandon say he shot and you deny that you were even there. And then I'll see you on video tomorrow when I get that video and you're on there. And then I'm going to go, maybe Brandon was telling the truth.
Brandon shot him, man.
Okay. Where was Brandon when that happened? Where
Back
was,
seat.
so he shot from the back seat? And where were you at?
The passenger side.
What did the man look like? Because we need to make sure that you're telling us the truth, okay? What did the man look like in the truck?
Santa Claus shit. I don't want to go to jail, man.
I didn't shoot him. It was him. I was in the passenger side. That dude tried to run and check. Brandon shot him, man.
You know where the gun is that Brandon shot him with?
No, I don't. I told him to drop me off executive. I'm done, dude. I'm done. I told him to drop me off at executive. And I went back to my room. That's all I know.
Did he ever go to the ATM? Did anybody go to the ATM? Did any money
That's where he shot him at.
in front of the ATM?
Yes.
Did he get any money out of the ATM?
No.
Who put the card into the ATM?
Nobody put the card into the
Didn't
ATM.
get that far.
No. The dude tried to run. Brandon shot him. I know I'm still gonna get in trouble for that. I know I am. You can't tell me I'm not.
I can't make any promises.
You know I am though. You know I am, dude.
This is what we do. We write a report and we put what you said, that you weren't the shooter, where it came from, and we corroborate that, okay? And we put,
You can't tell me I'm not though,
I
man.
can't make any promises, you know that. But all I know is the truth goes a long way in these cases. Us knowing what happened,
It was in the passenger side, man.
and now we can piece together what happened. Who drove the truck from there?
Brandon.
So he jumps out of the back seat and gets into the
She didn't
passenger
even
seat.
open the door. He just jumped right in the middle and
Just
jumped over it.
Do you know what he did with that gun?
No, ma'am, I don't.
Do you know what kind it was?
It's a 40 Glock or 40 something 40 Smith & Wesson 40 something. It's a 40 though. The stuff to clean that gun should be with all his stuff in that motel room on 38.
Okay.
That's where all his stuff
let me go
is,
tell
man.
the guys. I'll be right back.
That gun might be there too. That's the only place that I know that he goes other than that.
Okay.
Or their house on.
Pablo finally breaks down completely, telling detectives that Brandon shot the owner of the black truck as he tried to run away. But now with even more of the blame placed on him, how will Brandon react? Will he take any responsibility or continue to play dumb? Although when it comes to Brandon, it's debatable how much playing is really needed, especially when he's confronted with evidence about his victim's phone pinging near his location.
Now on another one, we have a guy, what you said, Karma. This guy, he jump in his car, shoot him in the back, take his car. What do you think the person that did that's gonna get in karma?
A hell of a life. You know what I'm saying? A hard time.
Especially if that guy dies, right? He was
Yeah.
shot in the back. Things happen. You know, you can get shot in the back and be fine and get an infection and you die. That's still a murder
Or
because
hit-
whoever
or-
shot him caused that.
Yeah. Or
Now,
hit a nerve, a main artery, like Selena. She got hit in the back, hit a main artery. That's how she died.
Brandon, I have a earlier when you were talking to me, you said that you owned up to stuff, and you said if you find my fingerprints in there, I'd own up to it. We found the victim's phone for the robbery in your house, over by your house at Somerset, from the truck.
What?
Yeah,
What phone is that?
phone for the robbery that happened on where a guy got shot.
There's
So we know you have the phone.
There's no phone. I want to see the picture of the phone.
It's pinging there at
I
the
wanna-
Somerset apartment.
I want to see the picture of the phone. There's no phone that I had in my possession that was in my possession. None.
Well,
None.
the officers are there right now because what they were doing is they were pinging that phone and it comes back to your address.
It comes back to it comes back to no.
I'll see if they can send me a picture of it,
That could
but
that can't be right.
I mean, this tells me you know something about it. That phone is in your where you were at last night. That phone for that victim.
That can't be right.
Look. If you weren't the shooter, you're gonna have to give us a shooter.
All right. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to lay everything on the table? What?
Do you want to give us consent to search the house then? If you have
Consent?
nothing in it? Yeah, consent.
I ain't got nothing in the house.
His mom's there. She's the one that owns it, right?
But it's
The
either it's
apartment?
my mom or
Yeah.
my aunt. One of those.
They have a bunch of property that they're seizing right now. But Brandon, you've got to take care of Brandon right now and tell us
Okay.
what happened.
Look, my homeboy stays with me. Well, he has his stuff there with me. You know what I'm saying?
What's his name?
I'm not gonna give y'all name if we ain't gonna work nothing out.
You're good. What do you want to work out?
I mean, see, I'm not gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Because right now,
I did not have the phone in my possession. I did not have the phone in my possession. Now, if I would have had the phone in my possession, I'd be like, all right, yeah, it was me. You know what I'm saying? I had the phone.
what do you know about it, Brandon? You're gonna have to take care of yourself right now. This is serious.
I know a little about it. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been around the bush with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all know I'm not dumb. I know y'all ain't dumb. You know what I'm saying? It works both ways. Right? So, I mean, I don't know about the car. I know somewhat about the truck. I don't know what happened to the dude. I know somewhat what happened to the truck, though. You know what I'm saying?
What happened to you?
But that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to talk no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say nothing no more. I mean, if we come to an agreement, I mean,
I will tell you this. It's illegal for me to offer you anything. I
Nah,
wish I could.
I know.
I wish I could tell you.
I know that.
You
That's
give me
illegal.
this, I
Nah,
give you that.
that's
It's illegal.
Yeah, it's illegal.
What
understand
happens
that.
is, and let me explain my job. Okay, my job now is, I know that you have information, but when you're in possession of information that belongs to a serious crime, it's implicating, right? So it's your opportunity to tell me why it's not implicated, why you're saying the evidence that we have is not that you didn't do it. Because right now, the evidence is pointing
because
that you
my
did it.
homeboy came through. You know what I'm saying? He came through late last night. Did I know he had a phone with him? I know he had his phone with him. You know what I'm saying?
How about that phone that I showed you earlier?
That phone, I found it in the alleyway, like I was saying now. You know what I'm saying?
Because he said he didn't find it in the alley.
He didn't pick it up.
But let's stick with the truck, your homeboy, and what you know about that. You're gonna have. I mean, this is your story, not mine.
All I know is the truck was supposed to be sold. That's all I know. You know what I'm saying? My homeboy came through last night. Did I know he had a phone? Did I know he did this? You know what I'm saying? Have I known he had did this? I wouldn't. Nah, I ain't coming over to where my mom stays. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, here's all your stuff. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I wouldn't do that. Not to my mom's.
Well, your mom right now is involved because we're over there right now, and you know
she don't know nothing. All she does
is she gonna know who your homeboy was? Is she gonna be able to tell us that some homeboy came and talked to you and this and that?
She might give you his nickname.
What's his nickname?
I'm not gonna say it.
You're putting your mom in a really bad position.
Your mom right now is in custody of stolen property.
No, she ain't.
She is.
No, she ain't. Because she's not aware of the stuff that was there. She's not aware of this fool that came to the house that had the phone. She's not aware of that. All she does is take care of my aunt.
I'm saying she's
all she does is take care of my aunt.
By being in possession. So
I'm not gonna say nothing. Bring a lawyer, you know what I'm saying? Bring a lawyer in here and then we'll finish talking. You know what I'm saying? Because
okay.
My mom hold up. Because it shouldn't be my mom's fault.
Brandon can say what should and shouldn't be all day long, but the detective is spot on. He's placed his own mom in possession of his stolen property. Although that's now the least of his worries because Pablo is continuing to tell his story about how their carjacking victim ended up shot in the back.
We appreciate you being honest with us, and that's exactly what you should have done, you know. But going back to Brandon, were y'all hanging out every day? I mean, what were y'all? What was y'all's relationship like?
Every other day.
Every other day. All right. And so, what would y'all do during the day? Would y'all walk around? Would y'all hang out at someone's house? Would you hang out at the executive inn, his house, his apartment, somebody else's house?
Just been here, there, and everywhere, just smoking weed and stuff.
Are y'all hitting any licks in between here?
I don't like what I've been doing. I just barely got fired from my family job. I've been around plumbing 9 years. I've been doing my hands for probably about 3. You know what I mean?
Help me understand. What does that have to do with robbing?
I mean, I'm certified. I don't like robbing. I don't like stealing. I don't like
Basically,
doing
you
that.
like to work for a living.
Yes, I like making a paycheck, going 8 to 5,
Listen, you
man.
gotta clarify yourself, Pablo. You
I
can't get
know, I
upset
just don't
with
want to
us,
get in
man.
trouble, dude.
Listen, you cannot get upset with us.
I'm not
okay?
upset with y'all. I just don't
You know,
want to get in trouble,
we're trying
dude.
to talk to you with respect. We're trying to be, I'm trying to be a gentleman with you. I understand you're upset. I understand you're frustrated. I understand you're overwhelmed. I totally get it, man. We are trying to make sense of everything. All right. Like she said earlier, we can't promise you anything. I will never, ever make a promise to anyone that I know that I can't keep. But what we can say is that, you know what? Pablo told us this, and this. Do you have a criminal record?
No,
Have you ever been to jail?
I mean, yes.
How many times?
I don't know, just a handful. But
For
there's
what?
nothing. There's nothing.
Minor class C's, right?
That's it.
Okay.
Nothing. Nothing, dude. A couple marijuana charges and a couple domestic assaults. That's it, dude. Nothing.
Class C's, right?
Yeah.
Nothing more than a class C.
And one burglary of a building. That's it.
Okay, that which is at what? Now it's a class A, state jail felony, right?
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
Years, dude.
Have you ever been to prison?
No.
Okay, so look. I mean, how old are you now?
I'm 26.
Okay, you're 26 years old. You know what, to be honest with you, you really don't have a record. You have silly shit here and there, right? What you need to understand, Pablo, is that relax a little bit, all right? I know you're overwhelmed. I know you don't. You've already expressed that to us. All right? Jail isn't that place to go. Especially someone like you who like to work.
I did 11.5 months in there. It's nothing, but I just don't like it, dude. I want to make a paycheck.
I know. And you've already expressed that.
Brandon was just a quick way to make money, dude.
And how is the quick way to make money?
Like that, like last night.
And look at the situation that he got you into. You had to have known that Brandon would carry some heat from time to time. And you don't like guns.
No, sir, I don't.
But yet we're in a situation where he pulled some shit, but said everybody else did it. But him, I didn't do it. Chino did it. I didn't do it. So-and-so did it. I didn't do it. So-and-so did it. But everybody else wants to cover for him. That's what I don't understand.
His own mother.
You know, his own mother covers for him. I mean,
Pablo has made it clear he's absolutely terrified of going to prison. But despite making it seem like he was just at the wrong place at the wrong time, he has no one to blame but himself. If he truly hates guns and violence, then ex-con and gun-toting drug dealer Brandon is the last person he should be hanging out with. He's at least painfully aware of how much trouble he's in. But Brandon, meanwhile, is a prime example of the Dunning-Kruger effect in action. In this situation, he's simply too dumb to know how dumb he really is.
So you saying my aunt will get in trouble too? You saying my aunt that she's sick, that she'll get locked up too for that shit?
Yes, sir. That's exactly what I'm telling you. It's 100%. Just like if you didn't own that backpack that Adrian's carrying,
It'll be on him.
Yeah.
If I would have knew that he's trying to put the finger on me for something I didn't do, I would let him take the rap for that shit.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You didn't, and he had it on his person. Now, if you move it to a car and someone doesn't, that whole car goes. Move it to a house. That's what I'm telling you that, because we don't have time for that at the scene. So that's why she's telling you you're gonna put your mom in a bad position.
Let her look. I'll tell you a little bit. They ain't got nothing to do with it. Please don't put my mom. Don't involve my mom in it, please.
Okay. We didn't involve her. You did.
I didn't involve her.
Well, you had friends over that did it. It's not us though. Okay, so don't say we're not going to.
That she did it.
we didn't even go inside. It was right there. You know what I'm saying? So it being pinged to where you said my mom inside, you can't pinpoint what room. Can you pinpoint what room?
If it's pinging.
Show me.
So if the phone is there and your mom answers the door and we call it and it rings inside your mom's apartment, that's putting it in there.
No, because it's not gonna ring.
Why not?
I didn't hear it ring last night when my homeboy pulled up.
How do you know it wasn't being called?
I don't know.
Maybe because the owner of the phone is in the hospital.
Maybe, you know what I'm saying?
No. But that's all. I mean, that's all I was trying to explain it to you. That's all. And that's what she was trying to explain.
I'm gonna be the same way how you treat me, how you talk to me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk back to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's just it's man to man. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Man to man.
And I treated you with respect the whole time.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to answer your question, because I hear what you're saying, but obviously you don't understand how the law is used, how that one law is we use it.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to make sure you're clear. And it's not us trying to be. It's just how we get things done. That's just how it works. And it's not personal. I don't know you. I'm not mad at you. I'm not upset with you. You didn't do anything against me. Everything's situational. You know, it's depending on some kind of variables.
But I mean, shit happened, bro. I wasn't trying to be in no kind of involvement in shit like this.
Yeah.
None. My intentions were none.
It seems like Brandon is making peace with the fact that no matter what happens, he's going back to prison for a long time. And while he claims to not be a heartless person, the families of his 2 murder victims would likely claim otherwise. But when it comes to testing Pablo's DNA, he's starting to get a little nervous, and detectives are beginning to wonder if he's telling the whole truth.
Do you still want to give us your DNA?
Yeah, can we get some water?
Yeah, I'll bring that first.
It's,
Don't drink any water yet. I'll bring it, but then I'll swab your mouth first. Well, will you get that consent form started while I go get the ankle swab? Don't let him drink any water yet.
Wash that glass out
Give him a
there,
bigger one.
anyways, and just give him a bigger
Yeah,
cup
just
of
don't drink
water.
any for about 10 minutes so I can swab him and we'll
Because they don't take but 2-3 drinks.
We're just swabbing my mouth after food.
So basically, obviously when we say we're processing the car, all right? And so basically what we do is when we process the car is that we obviously test it for fingerprints, and we're obviously testing it for like skin cells. So for an example, you told us I was sitting in the passenger side of that truck. Brandon was sitting in the back. And I'm just going to refer to him as Santa Claus. That's what you said, right? Santa Claus, or the man who appears to be Santa Claus, is driving. And from what you tell us, you're in the passenger here. Brandon is here, and the man that appeared to be Santa Claus is here driving. All right. So when we process this truck, and we have the truck that's down in the basement, and we process it, you tell us I was sitting in the passenger side. So what we do is on the passenger side, we just confirm what you told us. Okay, so we can go back and say, all right, Pablo told us that he's sitting in the passenger side. Pablo told us that Brandon is sitting in the back side of the truck. So when we process this passenger side with any type of DNA, which whether it be a swab or whether it be a fingerprint, if I swab this seatbelt, all right, let's just say you were wearing a seatbelt, okay? And the seatbelt is over, and you say, I was wearing a seatbelt. If I go and swab that seatbelt, I should pick up your skin cells. So therefore, what you told me today in the office is exactly the truth of the DNA that we picked up in the truck. That makes sense? And so same thing with Brandon. Brandon was the same way. I'm going to give you my DNA. No, here. You can have it. You can have it. Same thing we're doing now. You can have it. But what he didn't know is that we've been doing this for so long already that we know you're feeling this half of the shit in the ways. On a scale from 0 to 100%, 90% of what you told us is false. But that's okay. We're going to play into your game, and we're going to chill, and we're going to act like you're innocent. You know, he gave us his DNA. So when we go process that truck and we go back to the back of it, and we start swabbing the back and sending everything off, all of his skin cells or whatever DNA, whether he spit on the seat or whether he sneezed or whatever, all of his DNA should be on that back seat, right? And so after we run this process here and our results come in, we can sit there, she and I can sit there and say, hey, Pablo sat down and told us that he was a passenger. Well, we just confirmed that because now we got the test results and your DNA does come back to the passenger side, right? Pablo told us, Chris Prince, Pablo told us that Brandon was sitting in the back, and like I said just a minute ago, Brandon could have spit back there. He could have did something back there. When we get through processing the truck, if we run DNA and his DNA comes up in that back seat, that's exactly what you just told us. So that's kind of the way it works. Does that make sense? Anything? I have some right here. Anything?
Or if we found the gun, your prints, your DNA, something like that.
Right.
Does that make sense?
I mean, I've touched that gun a couple times.
Okay. Let me ask you this, Pablo. If you're so afraid of guns, why in the world would you touch a gun? Why?
Because they're kind of interesting, dude.
Okay.
But I don't like when you pull the trigger. I just don't like that sound, man.
You've got to. I'm gonna tell you right now, Pablo. If there's anything else, man, anything else that you have that you still haven't said, man,
About
bro,
the blue
I would
car,
tell you, bro,
I think you were with him. I'll be honest. I think you were with him that day
you gotta tell us
because it
the
happened
truth.
back to back. And I don't want you to get
Hemmed up
on not being truthful about the worst one, really. And then over a simple one, then your credibility comes into play. Does that make sense? Why would you lie about something so simple that's really not even, the car was already there, and that way no one got hurt, nothing happened. And, he's investigating that. I can tell you what I'm doing on my case. There's going to be a bunch of information on his too. I don't know his case as well as I know mine. But, we're going to follow up on that case too, and I don't want to come back and it come back to you. And then you didn't even say you were there. Because then over here we're gonna look, well, maybe Brandon's telling a little bit of the truth over here and not over here. Does it make sense?
I just follow what Brandon says, man.
I know that, and that's why I know in my heart, and I'm just gonna be upfront because I'm not in your face type of person. That's not the way I work. I treat people the way I want to be treated, and I'm a little bit shy, but I really think that you were there for both of them. And I know you were. I know that in my heart, and I know that from what I've been doing this for 13 years, just like he's been doing it for 20 years, really. I don't want to say how old I am, but I know you were there for both of them. And I know that it's hard for you to do this, Danae, but I have to admire someone that will sit here and admit when they did something. Not very many people can do that. And I just don't want you to say it on one, and then later on we find it, and we find this out 3 weeks later, and we're going through everything, and we find evidence that you were there for the second one, the first one really. But that one wasn't even that big of a deal. Does that make sense? Why would you not tell us the truth on that? And they go, well, maybe we're not going to believe him on this over here. Maybe he was the shooter. Does that make sense?
Detectives are finally on the verge of getting a DNA sample from Pablo. But before they do, they want him to know something about his so-called friend, Brandon. He's not really his friend at all.
It's like I told Adrian, and it's exactly what I told Adrian. I don't want you to take this the wrong way, Adrian, but I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you what I can read about you. And he was like, what? I said, because he talked more of I told him not to do that shit. I told him don't be doing that shit, get this shit out of here, and I told him, and I said, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. And he kind of looked at me, I said, Adrian, I've been with you for an hour and 15 minutes now. I said, Brandon uses you. I said, Brandon tells you to jump and you say, ha ha. Now, I don't mean that in a mean, disrespectful way, but it's just that he has that more of a machismo about him. You know what I mean? The way he carries himself, where he's been, what he's done. He's been locked up for 6 years. He just got a TDC, Tango is covered in tats. He has that persona about him, and that's not saying anything bad about you. I'm not saying that he runs all over you. No, I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is like you said just a while ago, I just do what he says, man. I just do what he says. That's it, because of how he carries himself, how he expresses himself. I'll vote for this, I'll vote for that. And, he's quick to do something like that. Typically, what does he do? He pulls out his gun. Everybody knows that. We've already talked to 12, 13 people. And what does he do? He waves it around. Well, just that alone, that's an intimidation factor right there. You don't like guns. You've already said you don't like guns. So when he starts doing that, what are you going to do? All right, shit. What is it that you need, man? Just tell me what you want, So I'll tell you this. In a minute, I want you to read this and sign off on it. And then we're going to go back and talk about the blue car that we were talking about just a while ago. And I want you to tell me, we're going to be very truthful about that too. Yeah.
Let me grab this first. Read it first, because I can't swab you for 30 minutes if you drink water. So I have to wait. We waited a little bit. Read this. Make sure you understand it. Print and sign. We agree, and then he'll witness it.
And real quick, what I want to say, Pablo, is that we're going to give you another opportunity.
And you can tell us if you touch the gun. We need to know that, and it's going to be on the record because we're recording everything. So if your DNA's on that gun, we're going to know. He said he touched it.
That's all I do is just hold it, man.
Okay, and that's fine. We should find his DNA on it too, right? It's his gun.
Yes.
Okay, then then that makes sense. That will make sense on the evidence. Okay, just like we knew that you were in the passenger seat, we just found the fingerprints, and you were telling the truth. So that's good that you told us the truth. Because now, what would have happened while you've been sitting in here is we would have been sitting here, and you would have been saying, "I didn't touch that gun." If you'd done what he did, and then we found your prints there, and we would have gone, "We just found your prints there." Then we would have known you're a big liar, right? But they told me in the hallway. I said, "Oh, I know. He's already told us that." And that's what I told them. They go, "Really?" And I said, "Yeah, he's already told us he was in the truck." So, big deal. You know what I mean? So you told us you touched the gun. We'll verify it if we need to, and we may not even need to. But if I don't have it, I don't have to go bother you again and talk to you again later and bring all this back up again and say, "Hey, can we check your DNA? Because we have an unknown in there." But if it comes up on there, we'll say, "Well, he said in a statement he touched the gun. So what does that mean?" You know what I mean? So as long as you're being honest about it.
After you read that, we'll think about. We'll let you rest up for a few minutes and think about what else.
And if you want to drink your water, then we can wait. You drink your water, and then you can read that later, and we'll wait 30 minutes, so we can continue talking. And drink your water if you feel like it, and if you really need your water, drink it. And we'll get this at the end of your interview too. It's no rush. I don't want you to be thirsty. If you need to go to the bathroom, just let us know too. Okay? Just open your mouth. This might give you a little bit of cotton mouth, but you don't have gum or anything else in there.
A DNA test was taken which confirmed Pablo's presence in the vehicle. Both he and Brandon were held in connection to McCoy's shooting, but months later they'd be on the hook for another crime. After Sandy Cervantes' body was found in April of 2020, the case was officially declared a homicide investigation, and victim David Rodriguez would again be questioned by police. It was then that he identified Pablo and Brandon out of a photo lineup as the suspects who attacked him and abducted Sandy. Both were interrogated again, and while Pablo denied any involvement in her death, Brandon admitted to shooting and killing her during the course of the robbery. During the investigation, police obtained cell phone data that indicated Brandon's phone was in the vicinity of the area Sandy was abducted, as well as the house where her remains were discovered and where her car was set on fire to conceal evidence. Another witness also stated that Pablo told her he and Brandon tied Sandy up and put her in the trunk before shooting her and burning the vehicle. She said Pablo claimed Sandy cried and begged them to let her go, and that he was upset with Brandon for forcing him to do it. The bullet found with her remains was later forensically linked to the gun used to shoot Michael McCoy. McCoy, who had been paralyzed in the shooting, died from his injuries in December of 2022. In a statement, Sandy's family said they miss her every day. She was a devoted mother, aunt, and daughter, and nothing will replace her. Pablo Reyes pleaded guilty to one felony count of aggravated robbery and was sentenced to 40 years in prison. Brandon Cruz pleaded guilty to capital murder. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Thank you for watching today's video. Whether you're new here or have been with us for a while, check out one of the craziest cases I've ever covered right here, or one of my newest uploads right here.